Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday School. My name is Chessie Breton. I'm the Director of Children and Family Ministries at Manchester United Methodist Church. We are so glad that you are here joining us to hear some wonderful stories that come from, the Bible. It is officially summer. We have started the month of June, and we get to go back to the beginning of the Bible. We will be hearing all about the Old Testament. So let's go back remember we talked about Easter, we've gone all the way through, and now we're going to start back to the Old Testament and go all the way until Advent. Do you remember what is special about Advent? Take a second. Think about that. I'm hoping that you said Advent is the time that we wait for Jesus' birth on Christmas. So we're just going to make a big circle again, but I promise you're going to hear some new stories and maybe some that you've heard before. As a reminder, you can watch these stories at the end of both the 9 and 11 o'clock worship services. Also, on the Children and Family Ministries Facebook page, you can find activities and coloring pages to go along with our stories each week. Parents and guardians, these stories are wonderful for everyone in your family. Don't forget that they have wondering questions and wonder along with your children. It's a time for you to just enjoy and ask questions because a lot of the time our wondering questions don't have answers. Thank you so much for joining us and enjoy the month of June. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.
Good morning. My name is Erin Bryan, and I am a volunteer with the Manchester Children and Family Ministries, and I am going to share with you today a Good Shepherd story that is from the very, very beginning of our Bible, the very first chapter of the very first book, Genesis 1, the story of creation. All of the words to this story are inside of me. Would you please make silence with me while I find the words to my story? In the beginning, there was only darkness, and perhaps the joy of God. And God decided to make a world. So from a dark nothing, God began. On the first day, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God named the light day and the darkness night. And God saw the day and the night and said, "It was good." On the second day, God separated the waters above the earth, the clouds and rain, and the waters under the earth, the seas and oceans, rivers and streams. And when God saw the waters and said, they too were good. On the third day, God made all the green and growing things, trees and flowers, from the giant oak to the Christmas tree. There were bright and red tulips and delicate pink roses. And God saw all the green and growing things and said, "This is good." On the fourth day, God made the lights in the heavens. God sent the sun in place for day and the moon for night. And God flung the stars into their place. And God saw the lights and said, "This is good." On the 5th day, God made birds to fly in the air and fish to swim in the water. There were brilliant bluebirds and tiny hummingbirds. There were huge sailfish and tiny little guppies. And when God saw all the birds and all the fish, God said, "This is good." On the 6th day, God filled the world with all kinds of animals. There were soft, furry rabbits, tall giraffes, and strong elephants. There were dogs and cats. And then God made the greatest animal. God made people. When God made men and women, God decided to put them in charge of the whole world, all that had been created. And when God saw all the animals, and the men and the women especially, God smiled, and God said, "This is very good." On the 7th day, God rested from all the work that God had done. God made this day a special day and blessed it and made it holy. I wonder how it felt to be only in darkness. I wonder if the fish were surprised to find themselves in water. I wonder how the whole world looked when it was new. What is the most beautiful thought that you've ever had? Have you imagined a picture, a setting of world peace, a place where no one is ever hurt? When you think of these beautiful thoughts, realize that you have just a piece of God's mind in you when you do that. Our story today tells us that the last day God rested and that God blessed that day. Why do you think we come to church and Sunday school on a day of rest? In the Bible, Genesis 1:27 says that we humans were created in the image of God, male and female. What does that say about what God must be like? Try to imagine God's personality, not his body. Watch carefully as I put these materials back in the basket, so that one day you may find them and make them your work. Thank you again for coming and listening to this story this morning. If you'd like more information or more activities to go along with this story, please check out the Manchester Children and Family Ministries Facebook page. See you next week. Bye-bye.